Hey guys! It's been a while, and for some of you, this might be completely brand new. Maybe it's time for a little bit of an introduction? My name is Andrea Lewis. I'm an actress and a filmmaker, and this is my YouTube channel. I have a confession. I haven't really been uploading here for probably the last year, maybe a little more than that. Definitely not consistently, and that's for very good reason. As I said, I am an actress and a filmmaker, and this channel has been used to house a lot of my creative ideas and endeavors. I started it back in 2013 when I was making my web series, Black Actress. This was the origin for why I knew that I needed a YouTube channel, was really just because I was like, I have this scripted series that I want to make, long form. That's what I grew up knowing how to do. I grew up in television, so long form is really my sweet spot. Scripted is really my sweet spot. Acting, telling a big story, that's the thing I like to do. And Black Actress was my entryway into getting to show the world that I knew how to do all of that, from producing, writing, acting, creating the universe, the world of this baby, this web series that I love so much. I did that for 2 seasons. I also had another web series called Beyond Complicated that I also loved a lot. It was a little bit of a more, let's call it an artistic experiment, a social experiment in a way, because it was about a couple that kind of found themselves in an awkward position and now seeing both sides of the story, his side and her side, and even the friend side. So it had 3 sides of the story, and kind of how the messiness, the complications of a relationship actually plays out. Where we experimented is we actually let the actors improv. We would just give them all like an intense backstory, and they all just went to town. And then when we were on set, you know, we'd guide them. We'd say, okay, yeah, more of that, less of that. No, don't go there. Like, this is the starting mark, things like that when we were directing. Very fun. If you go and watch this series and you look through the comments, it's like everybody was writing a dissertation. Such an engaging audience. I loved it. Love, love, love. I've even had my short films on here, like Token, which went through a great festival run, and then I put it onto this channel, and I love this story. It was sweet, it was innocent. Also have done unscripted on here. I've had some documentary shorts on this channel, all about self-love, from the men's perspective and the woman's perspective. And then on top of that, I used to have a weekly series called Self-Love Saturday. This is also what I'd call an unscripted series that I was doing as I was quite literally in the midst of rediscovering what self-love was. I don't know if I ever said this, but at the time when I started it, I went through a really traumatic breakup that just shook me to my core and forced me to reevaluate myself and regain my confidence and regain my footing, is what I will say, which then sparked Self-Love, Self-Love Saturday, and just kind of the talking about all of that. So now here we are. My channel, this is what it has been all about. Kind of, I'd say, the world of Andrea Lewis, the things that I care about from a filmmaking perspective. And like I said, I have had moments, I won't lie, where I just have fallen off from the weekly upload, from the continuing of storytelling on here, but not because I didn't want to, but just because I was busy with this stuff in real life. For those of you who don't know, I have a documentary series called The Black Beauty Effect that is currently on Netflix. I am the creator, executive producer, and even the voice of that series. And so, yeah, in real life, I do this too. I'm still a full-time actress.
I made this special for you. Okay, open sesame.
Well, okay then.
What's wrong? It's not crispy enough?
No, it's the batter.
Oh, don't worry about that. I made it with garlic powder and Lowry's.
I am still a producer, and that stuff is a lot. It's time consuming, it's slow and fast all at the exact same time. And sometimes at the end of my day, I am just too exhausted to even think about uploading onto this channel or even knowing what I want to share with you guys, if I'm being like really transparent. Self-Love Saturday, I even stopped doing that simply because I felt like I kind of hit a crossroad. I was now learning a new phase of myself in confidence and self-love. And I didn't think that I was qualified to necessarily share these lessons, whether they be in real time or not, I was kind of like, well, yeah, I'm figuring this out as well. And so I don't want to lead you guys astray, or I don't want to talk about something that I don't really know much about, or have a really strong opinion on a certain phase or idea, when I know that I'm still learning it myself. Like that was my honest, like I have this conversation a lot because people talk to me about Self-Love Saturday, thank God. And I always say, it was like, yeah, in real life, I really did get to a space where my confidence was good, but I knew that I needed to go further. I knew that more needed to happen, and I didn't necessarily know where I would start in terms of lesson, because an element of Self-Love Saturday was that. It was a bit of a lesson plan. It was a bit of like, well, here's what I'm sharing. So it made me kind of say, well, maybe I should back away from doing that, because I never want to appear as a fraud. I always want to be really authentic in my experience that I am sharing with you guys, and just be honest that like sometimes I really am learning the lesson in real time. I really am figuring it out in real time. And I'm still just a woman growing in the world and pursuing my dreams and being as creative as possible. That's kind of the core of who I am. Creativity leads me in everything that I do, and that is the shining star for me. Is just like, am I getting to express my creativity the way that I want to? And am I telling an authentic story that really resonates true for me? So here's the thing. I am a full-time actress. I am also a full-time producer and creator. I have a million things going, or at least that's how it feels. I have a few projects that are on the go, that I am in collaboration with different groups of people with. So there's kind of a lot of plates spinning, if that makes sense for me. It doesn't feel that way to me though, because I thrive in multitasking. I'm one of those kind of women. I'm sure that there's others, if you're watching this, that can relate to that you kind of do well when there's a lot on your plate. I'm one of those people. Now I want to share a little bit more of just what my hustle actually looks like, because I'm a creative woman who encourages other creative women and encourages people to lean in heavily to their creativity and find every way to express it all of the time. And I think that I am a living example of that. I am constantly surrounded by creativity, gratitude, all of those kinds of things. And I love that I created this space for myself. I love that YouTube is this kind of space where you can kind of create whatever world you want to create. And that's why I mentioned the series that I've done in the past, because that's how I felt at the time when I was doing those series. It felt like, yeah, here's a world. Come on this ride with me for, a few episodes or however long I decide to do this thing for. I have another series that I am planning to launch on this channel very soon, for a topic that I love so much and a world that I love so much. And I have an amazing producing partner who I just adore. She comes from the TV space like me. But I kept thinking about, like, before putting it out to you guys, like, I kind of would like to share a little bit more of like what it's like to build these kinds of things out, and the lessons that I learn along the way, which are a lot of self-love and self-care and confidence and creativity and standing up for yourself and how to pick the right people to work with, and all of those kinds of things are kind of my day-to-day, my week-to-week, my month-to-month, all of that kind of stuff. And so I just wanted to share with you guys, and I hope that you guys will receive it. I don't know if I'll call this something, or if it will just simply be weekly vlogs or bi-weekly vlogs, or however often I could get this up. Let's be real. But nonetheless, I'm gonna try my best to be consistent. Little tiny personal gains. Like, I have been 90 days of consistency for 10,000 steps or more a day. I'm 500 days of learning French on Duolingo. Don't actually ask me to speak any French. I am not very good at it. And I am a year of no alcohol. So your girl is pretty good at consistency, okay? Like, I am very good at a personal challenge. I'm very good at being like, yo, let's do this thing. I'm now challenging myself to be a little more vulnerable, a little more transparent, and put a little bit more of my life out there to you guys, or at least the parts that I think are worth knowing about and sharing, because I'm proud of myself. I am a small production company, independent producer, and I've got multiple projects on the go. I have been nonstop, very consistent with myself since 2012, 2013, when I started my producing journey. And yeah, it's been a journey. I have learned a lot. I have experienced a lot. I've seen the ups, I've seen the downs, I've seen all of the good stuff. And yet, you know, I'm never deterred. I am always just consistent in going after it because I believe in these things. And I don't know, I really had this aha recently that I was like, yeah, I truly thrive in creativity. And a big part of just who I am as a woman is encouraging others to be their most creative self. And whenever I'm in community or friendship or anything of that sort, and somebody tells me that like, oh, I love talking to you because it makes my creative juices go or something like that, I feel so useful in that moment. I'll feel like, oh wow, like God really aligned me with who I was supposed to be talking to, because that is a part of me that I value and that I think is really good. And I think all of us should know the parts of ourselves that we're like, this is a strength that I know I have, and I am leaning into it more and more and more. And I was like, well, why not? Why not, y'all? You guys get to see this as well. You guys should get to see this part of me as much as possible. Cheers to getting back into the swing of things. Let me know how you guys are. Let me know how your creativity is. Tell me in the comments, all of that kind of stuff. Tell me something you want to know, something you want to hear, something that's been bothering you, whatever. And we're gonna go on this ride as I introduce you guys to the makings of my creative endeavors, to the projects that I'm working on, and hopefully take you on a journey as I get closer and closer to launching this other new series that I see on this channel, and I'm very excited about. Anyway, hope you're well. Bye.